Welcome back to Games Revealed. I am James and also the Brink, and we are one community. Today I am super fuzzy because I was a bear. Fuzzy. No, honestly, I can't get my camera figured out right now because, yeah, you can see. So it might be like this for a little bit. Mike, so I have a backup camera, my Aver Media. I have a partnership with them. Awesome people. But yeah, it's going to be a little fuzzy because I don't even have this set up properly, apparently. Yes, I was fuzzy wuzzy. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can. Not as fuzzy, I feel like. That's once I zoom in too much. You'll see some crap in the background. Okay, this is how it's going to be for now. Just because my other camera, I went out and did the Halloween special recording, which was supposed to come out yesterday. I got distracted with a lot of stuff and just dealing with stuff. So let us chat amongst people, amongst stuff. Let's see here. I need to get the YouTube chat. Give me 1 second to grab that out. Is it this one? No. This one? There we go. Rachie, welcome. Show us this Half-Life crab closer, please. I will do that, Rachie. Thank you for the for the donation. Let's do this. I love this thing. It's gonna weigh down the mic though. So, what is up, everyone? What we're going to be doing is we are going to be talking about the Legion Go. This is the beginning portions of the whole thing. But today is we're going to be hunting down stuff on Legion Go. I've been looking at stuff, so I have a pretty good idea of what's going on with it. But I don't have one yet. There's a chance I'll get one between now and the 20th of the month. But yeah. So, just a little heads up. I haven't streamed on Twitch Friday or Monday this week because I ended up having time off for my kids, and whenever I have that chance, which isn't very often, I go hang out with me and Susie. Will go and do stuff together. Like we went and watched some movies, ate some food, did some stuff. Susie's birthday was Monday, so I wanted to make sure that she had a good birthday. Took that off, didn't do any streaming, and then tomorrow is my birthday. I do plan on streaming tomorrow morning as long as everything goes well. I'll announce that. We'll do some I was planning on doing more Halloween, and the game that we started to design, we'll just work on it next year for Halloween season if we don't do it during a game jam this next 6 months. I'm working on my own game. A lot of stuff going on. But They Hunger, or I was going to do Alan Wake 2, but I might wait until next paycheck to grab that. As much as that's fun, we have a lot of other games to play too, so it's not like there's not a plethora of stuff to play. Yeah, so let's welcome people in. Wolf, Lojack, Rachie, Andre, Chad, Cat, and Baby. Welcome. It might be a little bit of a small house today because I did not prepare very well. I was working on a bunch of other shit, and so pardon my French, but I was working on a lot of other stuff. And the podcast is technically, I'm just almost done with the thumbnail. I had it edited and everything. I just didn't. It was 24 gigs. I recorded out in the forest. It just was a lot, and I was expecting. And then I had my. The Halloween party I threw yesterday, I ended up preparing food for it from 2 o'clock until 6 or 7, and so I ended up not getting it released. So I do apologize on that. I do want to get this video thing worked out, but I just don't think it's going to happen. But that's besides the point, because we are going to go into... Let me just pull up a browser, and we'll go into field trip mode. How was everyone's Halloween? Oh, it's not Delgato. This one? What? Does this not have? Let me. Wait, what? Okay. That's good enough, right? Okay. Yes, Rachie, it is gross. I love the Half-Life head crab thing, of course. Okay. So, the plan is to go over Legion Go stuff. We're going to also go over some glasses. One of them being... that's wrong. That's wrong. Glasses. Don't switch. Right here. Legion Go, or the Legion glasses are also a thing. We'll talk about these a little bit. But the main thing we want to talk about is Legion Go. Let's watch from YouTube, see what people have to say. I already know what it is for the most part because I've already been keeping an eye on this. But the biggest thing with the Legion Go is the sound. That is bad. Everything else, with some spacing issues with the controllers, sounds like the Legion Go is awesome. It pretty much just indicates that, like what I was kind of expecting in a lot of ways, there is no a specific device that is the best. But I will have to say, Legion Go-wise, the speakers are a big bummer because the ROG Ally speakers are so good. Okay. Also, if you have not done so, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Make sure to like at the bare minimum, as that does help grow the channel. How are you guys doing, by the way? And how was your Halloween? I know I already asked that, but I don't know if anyone heard me. Yeah, I need to get some stuff out there, and I guess I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek. Since you guys are so good by being here, I'll give you a sneak peek of the podcast episode that's going to go out tomorrow. It's going to go out today, but then I went and got my car that finally got fixed. I have been without a car for 2 weeks. Okay.
Back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also Brink, and we are one community today.
This is a sneak peek.
Yeah. Is going to be in the woods. It's an adventure. You might hear some children in the background. Don't worry. That's children of the corn. There's a cornfield right over there, and then also a lake over there where Jason's hanging out. And we have our hut over here, which we don't know who's living in it, but there's a bed and some food in there.
I sound so like chill, I guess. But yeah, that is the beginning part. You'll see us during the daytime. I wanted to go at nighttime, but I don't have the equipment quite ready for a nighttime shot. I just didn't want us to be too dark. And so I need to get a frame for my camera. I have mics that I have now that you can tell that they're pretty good. So yeah, I just figured I'd show you that, give you a little bit of a sneak peek. I was thinking about doing a dark filter, but honestly, those woods are kind of creepy on their own, and some kids just showed up out of nowhere. I'm like, they had like beady black eyes. It was really weird. No, I'm just kidding. People are like, those are black-eyed kids. Ours was good. Lol, baby got so much candy. Nice, Chad. I'm already just getting used to the cold weather. Wolf has not lived in a cold climate before, so she's going crazy being cold in, funny enough, not even that cold of an area, but yeah, it does get cold. Rachie, Julius, Saya, Caesar, Literal called in Legionnaires civilians for wanting to leave the Legion. Moral of the story, buy a Legion, go or you are peasant. The Legion Go. It's such a weird name. So is the ROG Ally, but the Ally makes sense. Oh well. Let's see what some outlets have to say about it, and we'll see what some YouTubers have to say about it. We have Fan the Deck, who looks like he's doing... Wow, he did a full-on shot, dude.
This is the Lenovo Legion Go.
Excellent.
Why am I in a...
Dude, his freaking channel is rocking it for a deck channel. Okay, let's get into this. Lenovo Legion Go, a Switch-like Windows handheld, is now available. It's always been available. That's very unfortunate title, GameSpot. The One X Player 2 has a lot to say about that. That being said, it is an older chipset. They should have waited just a little longer to get onto this new chipset. Okay. So yeah, if you're new to this whole thing, if you don't understand what's going on, the Legion Go has a 512 gigabyte and a 1 terabyte model, and those are the two differences of the two models, 700 to 750, and it's an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme chipset, an 8.8 inch display with 144 inch or hertz refresh rate, which the ROG Ally has 120 hertz refresh rate. And it has 16 gigs of RAM, which is probably the speakers and the RAM are my two killers for this thing. Like in the sense of like, it could have been better, just a little bit more RAM. But I get it; it's a budget. Like hitting $700 alone for these types of devices is actually really good. But they're making money off of it. That's why I'm thinking the Steam Deck's made money since day one, even though it's cheap. These APUs are meant to be cheap. These APUs could be in laptops. Just imagine what an APU in a laptop is. Like they're under $1,000. So, and they have bigger screens and everything else. So, I think some people didn't understand that. Let's see here. Let's go to the PC Gamer here in a second. Let's go to chat real quick. Wolf. Oh, I love the cold, but my nose and throat not so much. It's dry cold. It is a dry cold. Honestly, a dry cold's so much better than a wet cold, because you just can't wear enough layers for that. The screen size of Legion Go is perfect to play Sucker for Love. Oh my gosh, Raichi. I can see that. Honestly, the 8.8-inch screen seems like it'd be perfect for about everything. I don't like the way the device looks per se, and the controllers, but I am really excited for everything else that this device has to offer. Let's get some conclusions going on, and we'll go. You know what? This isn't giving me the stuff I want. We're going to go watch something.
Legion Go. Why am I in a parking lot? I'll tell you more about that later.
Because he just bought it from
PC handhelds have existed for years before the Steam Deck, but the Steam Deck started a revolution that has since motivated laptop manufacturers to join the scene and bring their own handhelds to market. Asus, of course, released the ROG Ally in June, and now Lenovo is the latest brand to the scene with the launch of their highly anticipated Lenovo Legion Go. And that's good news, not just because it shows that the niche is growing, but also because on paper, the Legion Go's feature set is ambitious and innovative, more so than most handhelds in this space. I don't know if they have an advantage given that they have so much experience manufacturing laptops, or if they felt that they had to be ambitious and innovative in order to even have a chance in now this crowded field of PC handhelds. Either way, the FPS mode is something that really sets this handheld apart because it gives you access to a real mouse. You can detach the controls, flip the switch, slip the right control into the accompanying base, and now you have access to a full-fledged and uncompromising mouse. This, combined with the nature of being a Windows handheld, means that it can potentially serve an audience that no other handheld is currently serving, people that are really into online shooters. The Steam Deck has good, non-traditional controls for aiming and shooters if you have the wherewithal to unlock its potential, but many online games are still not compatible with SteamOS due to their anti-cheats. Other handhelds may have Windows, but they lack reasonable aiming mechanics. The Legion Go...
I mean, it's just like a Switch. I mean, I would definitely say this is the highlight of the device, is the controller, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm still like a mouse person. This is definitely going to be an interesting one for me to try this out. But I have my handheld devices, and even though I do say I play a lot of FPS games on it sometimes, I don't necessarily. This will be interesting, but the problem with this is still, this is a nice portable first-person shooter for when I'm at my parents' house and I don't have to take much. But if I'm upstairs in bed or just wanting to play something for like 30, 40 minutes before going to bed, like Persona 5, but first-person shooter-wise, I'm not going to be whipping this out. This is not perfect for first-person shooters in that sense for portability.
Is the first handheld to do both if it sticks to landing. And even if it does, what if you're not someone that fits that niche within a niche? My Lenovo Legion Go at Micro Center, and they have agreed to sponsor this video, which is amazing because I actually have a few reasons you're gonna video. So yeah, like I said, this Lenovo Legion Go is actually from Micro Center. Lenovo did not send me one, at least not yet. So this is from Micro Center, which means that it is a full production, full retail unit. And I've had it for about a week, and it seems like a lot of reviewers are getting it late, and it feels like...
Oh, wait, he got a review unit through a box store? I didn't even know that was possible.
Maybe something is going on as far as review units go, but thankfully Micro Center had it in stock and they were able to work with me. So with the unboxing, there are two compartments. There is a compartment for the power brick, and that is a 65
this is a smart
power brick.
So
there's
it's got
no detachable cable. There are no collapsible.
Nothing surprising in here, but then you get into right here and you'll see that this has this charging port. Some of these companies, Asus and Lenovo, have done a very good job of seeing where some of the pitfalls that the Steam Deck had. This is one of them. It comes with a case, and it comes with this port. The ROG Ally doesn't come with a case.
Legion Go, I would not recommend using this, at least not while your Legion Go is in sleep mode. If you want to use
it, can overheat the device.
It while it's shut off completely, then cool.
But to be fair, the likelihood of it's just, if you're playing a game, you put it to sleep and then you do this is where you're going to run into issues. If it's in like a very standard operating mode, the overheating's not going to happen most likely. Like it's going to not overheat. Good chance.
The ROG Ally
still a good call.
Smaller slightly than...
What's up, high tech low life? How you doing, man? I don't have an ROG Ally. Or not an ROG. I do have one of those. I don't have a Legion Go yet. Due to a myriad of unfortunate events, I will be getting mine probably in the next few weeks. I'll buy it. So how you doing, man? And by the way, if you have not seen it yet, so High Tech Low Life is the one that hosts and runs the Steam Pals YouTube channel, and there's a whole new video out now, so that's good. And he also has a review to this device, or at least an overview, right? Like you just got the device, you don't have your review out yet, High Tech Low Life. So I definitely go check out his review.
And the Neo Qun, but it feels a lot lighter than the Neo Qun, even though the weight is pretty close to that. I would say that just like the Steam Deck, they really...
You don't, are you going to do a real review? I have a hard time doing reviews, High Tech. I'll be honest. I want to find like a different way to do my stuff, but I do plan on doing a Steam Deck versus ROG Ally versus Legion Go, and I'm going to give you a sneak peek, everyone. There's going to be a device for you. Like one of them is going to have a different, like they all have their pros and cons. I have not touched a Legion Go yet, but I already know from watching stuff and seeing stuff that there are pros and cons to this.
Really found a way to balance the ergonomics of this. I think maybe just the fact that these detachable controllers have like a really...
Yeah, High Tech Low Life. I like doing performance metrics for myself. Recording them and feeling like I do it right. I don't feel like I do it right. I need to learn how to do that. Maybe I need to watch a video on doing it. I have a GBD WinMax 2 review that I haven't finished up yet, but it's mostly done, that I did 6 months ago and I didn't release it because I just didn't feel like it was good enough. Chris Lee, what's up? Yeah, High Tech. I'm going to be trying to get into a little bit more technical because it's fun.
Pronounced.
It's more or less a progressive thing with the channel. I don't want to get too intense, but at the same time, I do like getting intense. I want to find this like nice balance. So I plan on doing multiple videos instead of one video.
Bump for the grip. I just find it all very comfortable, and it helps make the device feel lighter than it actually is. In terms of the feel, there are two different textures. The grips, they do have a grippy texture. They're not rough in any way. It just kind of feels good in the hand. Otherwise, it's this smooth matte plastic. I will say the matte plastic does get fingerprints and smudges on it, so that's something to watch out for. The build quality, though, all of this is excellent build quality.
These cuticles are, they're about as rough as mine are.
Everything feels durable. The controllers don't have any give to them. The hinge on the kickstand feels incredibly resilient, and it goes back.
So this type of hinge is very reminiscent, and it probably is patented from Microsoft. So the Microsoft Surface tablets have these hinges that make it so that you can have this stand that pops out and is very robust and very strong. Albeit what it took was my sister stepping on my Surface to break the hinge. Didn't break the glass though or anything else. And they're not that hard to replace. They have replaceable pieces. I bet you they're based off of that patent. And because it's a PC device, I bet you Microsoft doesn't even charge for it. Very good hinges, by the way. So
back really far. If we look at the I/O at the top of the device, there are a few things to take note. There is a power button, of course.
Chad, Games Revealed, that's dope on you getting the Legion Go in a few weeks. I'm hoping to be able to get my 3D printer in a few weeks. Oh, dude, that'd be awesome, man. Andre, I wish I had my the space for a 3D printer. Maybe you could probably figure something out. I think you'd be surprised.
And that power button has an LED that has the Legion Go logo, but also this LED changes color based on the power profile you're using. Now, I think that's an
awesome idea.
Neat way to show what you have selected. Yeah. For the rest of the top of the device, there is a 3.5mm headphone jack.
Albeit, if your software's done right, this type of thing with the I/O, with the device, with drivers, isn't horribly difficult, but I feel like programmers get it wrong all the time.
There's an SD card slot, a USB 4 port, and a pair of volume buttons for plus and minus. I do have one concern here, and it is the fact that the SD card is at the top. This proved to be a problem for the ROG Ally, where the heat was being exhausted towards the top, and seemingly that was damaging SD cards. We don't know if it's going to be a problem here for the Legion.
So it depends on how the heat pipes go. So as long as there's a good heat, as long as the heat vents, and it looks like there's just the one fan on this, and you see some ventilated back pieces here. Along with that, and the main part of the heat pipe on this back end. This shouldn't be a problem. And they can also put heat shields on these things. There's a heat shield, I believe, on the Steam Deck too. So just as a heads up, this probably isn't going to be a bad, like, it doesn't matter if it's in the bottom, the front, it doesn't matter where it's at per se, as long as it's not near a heat source. And most likely, most of the issues on the ROG Ally was because of that, by the way. Like, for example, and I've mentioned this multiple times, my Sony camera right here, it has an overheat mode. It does not allow you to, like, if you have it in regulated mode, if it's been on for an hour or two and it starts to heat up a little bit, it will turn off. Saving, if you're in the middle of a recording, saving it so you don't lose anything, because it will destroy, the heat will destroy an SD card. Chad, yours is going to be a floor model. That's hilarious. Right, well, nothing wrong with nothing more sturdy than a floor. Just make sure it doesn't get kicked or dust. Make sure it's dusted well. Chris Lee, how old are you going to be? I am going to be 37. So yeah, I'm going to be 37. Tomorrow is my birthday. I am going to be streaming on the Brink channel on Twitch. Catch me out over there. Maybe I'll do a dual stream on YouTube too, but who knows. E-Shooter, what is a heat shield? So a heat shield is exactly what it sounds like. It shields a portion of the device from heat. So oftentimes SD cards or NVMe drives can have these little pieces on them that can be either a heat shield or it can help shield from like Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that it can help with. That being said, it's not it can only do so much. There's a lot of ways to help shield it from heat, but if it's not done right, then yeah. Quilts are over here just calling me a baby. I'm baby-faced if I shaved. Rachy, your age is purple. My age is purple. The channel's definitely purple.
But it is something to be aware of. Now on the bottom, there is not much in terms of I/O. There is the one additional for the Legion Go.
Once
but it
again,
is something
one,
to be aware of. Now on the bottom, there is
two. That is a big deal, guys. What's up, Cascoder? I have not responded to your Are you still on vacation? Are you chatting with us beyond the vacation?
not much in terms of I/O. There is the one additional USB 4 port. You can't really use this when you're using the kickstand unless you have an angle bracket like this one. I'll leave a link in the description.
I do kind of wish it was more in the middle, so certain types of stands would be compatible with it. But at the same time, just having two is really nice and gives you a lot of options. The Steam Deck needs to take this into account. Yes, Cascoder's in Mexico. Chrisley J, how old are you going to be? Oh, yeah, I already mentioned it, Chrisley, but I am going to be 37.
But yeah, I just thought I would mention that because it made it harder to use both of the ports at once. Now, both of those USB 4 ports are Thunderbolt, so they can connect to eGPU. Unfortunately, I don't have one. It can also connect to displays.
I do plan on getting an eGPU in the next few months, depending on how things work out. Once I get things resolved, I'm going to be doing a bunch of eGPU tests. So, because what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have a recording studio down here, and then I'm going to have a slightly different recording studio upstairs, along with Susie's going to have a desk upstairs. And so I'm going to be using the Legion Go actually as a secondary PC to do a lot of secondary things, while my main PC will be down here. A lot of experimenting.
Glasses. And again, these ports do charge.
Andre, you have a good night, man. And have a good time at work tomorrow. Thank you for stopping by.
From 25 to 90% in 45 minutes if you're using the default 65 watt charger, and that was when I was in sleep mode, so that's pretty good. Moving over to the back, here we have the kickstand, and I've already praised the build quality of this kickstand, but yeah, it stands to.
Yeah, you can see it has a specific name to it, but they're really good kickstands. Let's see what the display
ROG
like.
Ally is also 7 inches and 10.
E-Shooter, is this better than the Steam Deck? Depending on what you want, it can be better. It doesn't necessarily mean it. And I'll do a full comparison in one of my videos in the near future. The Steam Deck is going to be a good all-around base device. It is not going to be as performant as these other two, but you're going to get consistent battery life. And for the type of APU that's in it, you're going to get highly optimized games, depending on the game, of course, for it. With that, you also get the console-like experience with SteamOS, which is just really easy. Windows, honestly, isn't too bad, especially if you're going to be doing, like, let's say, Steam desktop mode. Or I don't know about a bunch of other things along with it, including touchpad and mouse and whatever else. The Legion Go is going to be the best one.
80p. So this is a significant upgrade when we're talking about size and resolution. In the Legion space menu, you can quickly swap between 800p, 1200p, and 1600p. For me, I primarily stuck to 1200p. I just found that to be a good balance.
Ooh, Cascoder, you can't eat the salad in Mexico.
Especially if I was playing more demanding games, I could use FSR Performance or FSR Balance, and it would still look good on this screen.
Love that.
Now, they market this as 100% sRGB color accuracy with over 500 nits peak brightness. Now, when it comes to brightness, I did compare this to the Ally and the Steam Deck. And when I compare it to the Ally, the max and the min brightness really look about the same. When I compare it to the Steam Deck though, the max brightness looks the same. But once again, Steam Deck wins when it comes to minimum brightness. This is something that's not that important to me, but I know it is important to a lot of people out there that play in dim settings and really want displays that can have a minimum brightness that goes really, really low.
What's the point of it going that low, besides potentially saving battery?
In terms of color and saturation, I thought the screen looks really good. I thought it was comparable to the ROG Ally, again, in terms of color. One place where it's not comparable to the Ally is the fact that this is a native portrait display. The Ally is a native landscape display, and that really gives it a leg up. Thanks to the Fox, I verified that this was a portrait display by opening up custom resolution utility, where it did show 1600 at 2560 as opposed to the reverse. And
so this is similar to the Steam Deck's 16:10, whereas ROG Ally is a 16:9, and it is vertical. It's designed to be a vertical screen. These Steam Decks and this one are designed to be, these ones are designed to be vertical. The other ones are designed to be a landscape. When it comes to compatibility for some software, it does matter. Like with Steam Deck, doing certain guides and all that was kind of annoying, but besides that, not usually too big a deal.
And when I opened up Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, it crashed, and that's a telltale sign that this is a portrait display.
Yeah.
The last thing to note about this display is the refresh rate and the fact that it's not VRR. So this is a 144 hertz display. So the refresh rate is very, very good, and it does go a long way towards not necessarily needing VRR, I would say. Having a variable refresh rate would be even better, but in this case, with the 144 hertz refresh rate, I really didn't notice any screen tearing whatsoever, and I would say that it was as responsive as the...
I have a feeling hardware is getting really good at this, and with FSR3 coming out and some other stuff, you're going to see a lot less.
Ally was, at least in practice when I was playing video games. But I do know that is incredibly subjective, and I know other people may feel a little bit differently on that. That was just my experience. Of course, if we're talking about the screen, the next thing we have to talk about is the...
Okay, let's get into some chatters in here. Necrosphere, welcome. Also, Gondorian Slayer, welcome. I'm putting Linux on it. Dude, do it. Games revealed the Neptune 4 Max is so big. Good luck finding a sturdy enough table around us that can be handled without shaking the floor. We'll have to do until I find one. Oh yeah, no, go for the floor for now. Gondorian Slayer is looking forward to getting the Legion Go. When are you getting it, man? Like I said, I'm going to be getting it sometime in November. Cascoder as gamer guy, Cascoder, as in the guy that made all the custom artwork for the SNES ROMs. Dude, gamer guy, you're good. Yeah, he did that. Cascoder is based when it comes to like providing community service. Necrosphere, if they want to save battery power and playing in the dark, undercovers, playing with their decks. Hey, you know what? I don't play with my deck in the undercovers or in the dark. I'm got to see the full thing kind of guy. It's a see it all or don't see anything. Casco. Oh yeah, Casco already responded. Gamer guy, man, thank you so much. Awesome work, dude. I love seeing the love between you guys. I like seeing people give back to the community and also people appreciating it. Gamer guy makes the library look clean. Yes, it does. Gondorian Slayer, hopefully mine coming in soon. It's got delayed in mail delivery from Best Buy. It says by Saturday. Yeah, I have some ways that I might be able to get this sooner, but we'll see. It might not happen.
Audio. In terms of the speakers, the quality is quite good, but you did have to turn them up a bit. They're
not front-facing speakers. This is where the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally just destroy. Or if they
compared to
are they in the screen?
But again, the quality is good. I'm going to show you some clips so that you can see kind of the comparison between the two.
Interesting choice of game to try this out. Much better. It's better sound than I was expecting, but the ROG Ally's sound is so good. I have tried multiple devices, like portable devices, and I will have to say the ROG Ally has been like leaps and bounds better than anything else I've ever tried. So I have a feeling this won't even come close to it, but it should, from my understanding, hopefully on par with the Steam Deck. Sounds like FU. What are you saying, Gondorian?
The other part of...
Let's see here. So, let's see. Just avoid, Gondorian Slayer, just avoid buying online if you can. Sounds like you got a plan when that does happen. Yeah, I have a plan. It's most likely going to be online, though. Gamer Guy, the coolest thing about this device is how you can use the detachable controller as a mouse. This is a very promising device. Love seeing all the new portable PC tech evolving. Thanks for covering this. Oh, yeah, no problem, Gamer Guy. I personally, definitely, like, this is going to replace my laptop. It's going to replace my laptop. I'll carry around a keyboard if I have to. This makes it so I don't have to carry around a mouse and whatever else. I'm fine carrying a keyboard and do it anyways. I like this a lot. So this is, I haven't even been carrying around, because I have my MacBook. If I go on a trip, I take my MacBook and my Steam Deck or the ROG Ally. This is probably going to replace that. I love my Steam Deck, but I really like the performance gains that the ROG Ally has. Like the Z1 Extreme it really is worth the performance boost.
That you won't experience joystick drift, and you can have really tiny dead zones. That's wonderful. What I would like to point out is that this D-pad is excellent. One test that I've done recently is a crouching medium kick into a fireball, especially as Ryu, and it's much harder to do on the Neo Kun and the Steam Deck for some reason, but it's really, really trivial to do on the Legion Go, so this is an excellent D-pad. The face buttons are really good. The start and select buttons are on the because if you just always want to open the right control panel, which is what I want to do 99% of the time, you have...
Is this... Oh, wow. Is this mimicking the Steam OS UI?
Yeah, have to press the button like 3 times to get there, which is pretty annoying.
That is annoying.
We'll talk more about these menus later, but yeah, that was a major annoyance for me, so I thought I would communicate that. Now, of course, there are some really cool new things in terms of controls for the Lenovo Legion Go. First, but not least, is the scroll wheel. The scroll wheel is a little bit hard to get to, especially if you're using the trackpad at the same time, but the scroll wheel is really nice. Even if you're just using this for Windows navigation, it's really nice to be able to scroll at the fingertip really quickly. And then, of course, if you're in like a first-person shooter, then you can use that to switch weapons and things like that. So this is a really handy addition. And then, of course, there is the trackpad, which is a really welcome addition. It is really low on the device, but it does work fine for navigating Windows. It's just that being that...
Okay, so here's the trackpad. So when dealing with Windows with Steam Deck, it's nice to have those trackpads to navigate certain parts of Windows. It just makes it a little easier. Having this, I don't need it for games. What I want it for is certain times where it's just I want a little bit more fine precision with a mouse to navigate.
Low makes it so that a hard to reach scroll wheel is now even harder to reach, so that's pretty annoying. Of course, you can tap on the trackpad for a click or hold for a right click. There are no gestures like using 2 fingers to scroll or anything like that, but it's good enough. This trackpad is not meant for gaming at all. I mean, you could use it like that, but that's not what it's intended for.
It's not like Steam Deck.
It's very much, this is the way you're going to navigate Windows. They didn't include any way to navigate Windows with the analog sticks. Like, obviously, the main way to navigate Windows is going to be this trackpad, and that's why it's there.
Yeah.
Attach these, and now you have a tablet for watching media. And I surprised myself with how often I did that during this last week. One thing I was hoping for was something like the Joy-Con grip, where you can attach these 2 little controllers, you know, in case you want to play this device docked.
That's another thing people don't realize is that you're going to be able to detach this and have a portable mouse that you can hang on to. If you go to a hotel room, you hook this thing up to the TV, you take that right joystick off, you can then just navigate your movies and stuff with it if you want, or have both. There's a lot of pluses to this type of design. This is why I want to see it in the next Steam Deck, and I have been raving about it for a while now. Raichi, this is a tablet. This is a tablet that has game controllers. It's fair to say that this is a tablet hybrid, meaning it's going to be a lot like the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. It's going to function the same, but then it has additional ways you can work with it.
Or something like that. There was a
100% Cascarita, this is the way. Let's see what more you guys have been saying, and then we'll get back to watching this. Wolf, hope you feel better and recover quickly. Did Vex get food poisoning too? Hope she's okay. Guns N' Roses Slayer, I'm looking forward to watching movies on it. Yes, honestly, I would too. I might actually, because how big the screen's just big enough, it might be my entertainment device right here. Oftentimes with my tablets, I have used them for media, for watching and controlling music and stuff like that. This might be my new device for doing that. Wolf, thankfully, Vex didn't. Had to pinpoint what it was. Hard to pinpoint what it was. Yeah, Cascoder, I'm sorry you got food poisoning and that she didn't. Glad she didn't. True Blue Magic Dude, welcome, welcome, welcome. Does the right controller have gyro? It would be cool to play shooters like that. It would be cool. I think this does have gyro in it. We'll have to see, though. Chris Lee's going to be getting theirs on Friday. I love how you guys are just saying this is the way. Though I think it's heavier than your typical tablet. It is. This is a heavy device, by the way. This sounds great for it. The sound is great for it, yeah. High Tech Low Life both have gyro. Both have their own separate gyros. Good to know. And I would expect nothing less. It would be really weird if only one device had
Lenovo engineer on the Lenovo forum saying that they were working on this, but that it wasn't a priority for them. So I'm curious to see what comes of that. Of course, all of this would just be a novelty if it wasn't for the killer feature of the Lenovo. Play a shooter or any mouse-oriented game. All you have to do is
I'm going to skip through. I don't want to watch this whole video.
FPS mode using
in the sense of I want you guys to go watch it. I just want to use this as a reference point.
The toggle on the bottom of the right game.
Oh, Gundorian Slayer. Lenovo was, and I think very smartly. I wish Steam Deck would do a little bit better of taking notes and actually coming out with something sooner. Once again, Steam Deck is still like the best bang for the buck, but I just want to see. I like seeing innovation.
For that, in the case, take out the base and attach the right gamepad to the base. It uses magnets, so it just slips right in, and you're good to go. Yeah, all in all, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but I would say it's rather intuitive. I think the thing that takes the most getting used to is just the button mapping, right? So
High Tech Low Life, the built-in gyro option is in Legion Space is kind of limited though. Left or right sticks, no mouse options yet. Are you talking about with gyro, like using the gyro for a mouse? That is a little bit of a bummer, but I wouldn't use the gyro that way. And honestly, I'm not the biggest thing of it. The gyro's fun every once in a while, but as long as it's coming, I can wait. Real Savage, welcome, 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 man. MVP in the house. Gundorian Slayer, hopefully Valve sees this, since this ranking up popularity, they might now. Valve is bizarre with that type of stuff. High Tech Low Life, I mean, there's a whole ass mouse mode. Oh, okay. We'll have to see how that goes. Raichi, Steam Deck is software innovation. Legion Go is hardware innovation. Yeah. I'll be honest though, like with the proper software package on Windows, it's not too bad. Steam Deck is software innovation. Legion Go is okay. Cascoder, love your videos. High Tech Life, been watching you for years, dude. Cascoder, love seeing the love. Gundorian Slayer, we can cross fingers. If not, oh boy. Yeah.
See the button mapping in the Legion Space software. For example, the LB button is mapped to R, so you can reload or resume using that. The LT button is for shift, so you can dash or run using that. And then there are the Y1 and Y2 buttons that I mentioned earlier. The Y1 is on top and you can use that to jump, and the Y2 button is on the bottom and you can use that to crouch. So this mapping makes sense, but it takes a while to really know which buttons are which.
Yeah.
As of right now, Legion Space gives you 4 different FPS mode profiles that you can swap between, and you can map them however you want. I hope that they allow us to create even more profiles if you want, and somehow make it so that when you launch a game, it switches to that profile automatically. But this is a really good start. Also, the mouse, you can change the...
Let's see here.
Z1 Extreme APU from AMD. That's the same APU that is in the ROG Ally. So the first thing I wanted to know is whether or not presets and a custom mode. So the quiet preset is about a 10 watt TDP.
Yep.
The balance preset is a 15 watt TDP, and the performance preset is a 20 watt TDP.
Okay, good. So there was rumors saying that this was going to have a limit of 20 and you couldn't go any higher, a hard limit. I'm glad that it can go up to 30 if you want, because the reason I say that is that, let's say if I want to use this as a dock mode, I want to put it on my computer. I play Tony Hawk with my son with the ROG Ally with 2 PlayStation controllers on my big screen TV. I'd want it to max out on its performance. Also, with an eGPU, if I run this as a secondary desktop device, I want to have an eGPU plug into this, and I want it to have the max performance at times. So I'm glad to see that it can go up to a 30.
You can also go into custom mode, and that'll allow you to set the preset anywhere between 5 and 30 watts. Now, I'm only one person, and I do take these benchmarks seriously. I did about 100 tests, but I did have to sort of focus what I was testing.
That's impressive in the sense of I don't do 100 tests. What I do is I play a bunch of games, and then I run about 5 tests typically. Raichi, Steam Deck is soft. Okay, we already did that. Phenom Vapes. Best part of Legion Go setup is seeing it hit 1.5 gigahertz over Wi-Fi 6E, pulling Steam games from my main rig. Dude, that is autumn vapes. That is awesome. Did I say autumn? Awesome. I was rolling a bunch of words together. Chris Lee, can you buy a fan for it for the Legion Go? You want to be careful with the fans. With the Steam Deck, there's actually been talk of some of the certain brand ruining decks because it doesn't technically do anything, or it was actually hurting the performance. That being said, some of that is rumors. The best, and I would agree, like if you're running it at max 30 watts, it would be nice to make sure that it's getting nice and cool. As far as these balanced, you have the 15 watt versus the 20 watt. And yeah, you can definitely see in some games, it's a big deal. 15 watt is comparable to Steam Deck's max TDP, by the way. Returnal hitting 24 and 20 watt, but if you bump that thing up, you're going to be getting into the 30s. Cyberpunk 28, 35, yeah. And I bet you, what is he? This is balanced. Did he mention? This is a big deal.
39 FPS. Phantom Liberty goes from 18 FPS to 28. Returnal goes from
The resolution matters a lot on this. I'm curious what resolution he's running at.
19 to 24, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider goes from 25 to 35. So these are all really significant increases for only just 5 more watts of power usage. So yeah, I would say this is probably the mode you want to go with if you are playing more demanding games.
Yeah.
So with that knowledge, I did want to see how much performance you gain by going up to 25 watts or 30 watts. And as far as I could tell, it was throttling my performance for some reason. So on Phantom Liberty, I wouldn't get more than 11 FPS, which is less than what I was getting on performance mode. Same thing for Returnal. I wouldn't get more.
There was an issue like this with the ROG Ally with the Z1 Extreme. There's a chance that there's going to be a driver or a BIOS update that will fix that. There's no reason why 30 watt would get less than 20 except for hardware misconfigurations. Guaranteed is what it is. It could even be throttling where 30 is just too much heat and it's throttling it down hard. Stuff like that can happen. Gondorian Slayer, what games you playing? What movies you planning on watching? For this, I'll answer that real quick. So for the ROG or for the Legion Go, I won't be watching any of the movies I like to watch, but typically I like to watch those on bigger screens. And what I have watched. So if you didn't know, during October, we had 13 movies or horror movies challenge. I finished the challenge. Don't know if anyone else did in the community. I know a couple people got close. I finished it. Susie wants to watch Aliens. She wants to watch the second Aliens movie, which is Aliens. And so we're going to be watching that soon. And I honestly, it was a good way to trick her into liking horror movies more. She's digging some Halloween horror movies more. And you know me, I like horror. Games-wise, I'm basic. I got my basic juice right here. I am going to be playing Dead Space on this new thing. I don't know what it is. Dead Space has been such a good device on the go for me. As far as first-person shooters, I will probably play a lot of Cyberpunk on this also. Gondorian Slayer, 13, the unlucky number. So, yeah, I mean, Friday the 13th is kind of like the fun horror number, right? And so we did 13 movies. Challenge. It was fun.
Then 10, and again, that's less than I was getting. And to be honest, I'm not really sure why this is happening. It wasn't throttled by temperature, and as far as I could tell, it was just using...
Yeah, even if it doesn't say, like if you were having good temps, The way the BIOS is configured could mess up with that, thinking it is the temps.
The maximum GPU. So again, I really don't know what's going on here, but even if it wasn't throttling,
Raichi's been playing the OG Dead Space and the remake Dead Space at the same time. I did a whole video for the thing to do that. Coolter, no doubt you'll visit your mortuary game. Dude, I haven't played the mortuary game, Coolter, in almost a year. I do like that game, though. But I have other games I'd rather play.
previous experience with these chips tell me that it really would be diminishing returns anyway, and 20 watts really is the sweet spot for this device. The next thing I tested was what you get out of plugging this device in, and it seems like there is a really subtle behavior to plugging it in. For the most part, you're going to get the same performance, but it does seem like, at least in the performance preset and when the device is plugged in, the TDP is correlated to how much the battery is charged. So in other words, the base TDP for performance preset is 20 watts, but if your battery is all the way charged and the device is plugged in, you're going to see that TDP creep up 21, 22. I've even seen as high as 25 as I was playing and looking at the benchmarks. This wasn't advertised, so I don't know if this is a behavior that they're going to keep, but
I don't know if I like if I'm trying to set my TDP to be consistent, I don't know if I want to jump around even if it is plugged in.
Ally performance preset. Both of these presets are a 15 watt base TDP. One thing to keep in mind is that I couldn't do Batman Arkham Knight. The Ally got 45 FPS and
here we go. So Legion Go Ally 1080. So the reason why you see these differences is that aspect ratio with the 1200p and the 1080p. Ally is a 16:9 aspect ratio screen, and that's just the way that's shaped. Meaning the Legion Go is pushing more pixels at 15 watts, and you're going to see higher frame rate. So you see this higher frame rate. That is not fair in a lot of ways, because you can reduce this down and you can change the aspect ratio of the Legion Go to be a 1080 if you want. So it's not fully fair to compare it in this format. Also, I don't think I would play it at 1200p. I think I would be playing the Legion Go at probably 800p and have that FSR 2.0 kick in and upscale.
the Legion Go got 41 FPS. Phantom Liberty 18 on the Ally and 18 on the Legion Go. Finally, Shadow of the Tomb Raider was 30 on the Ally and 25 on the Legion Go. I couldn't test Returnal on the Ally. Unfortunately, it would just crash whenever I tried to modify graphics settings, so I couldn't ensure that I was testing properly.
Returnal
the
is
Ally
very
wins
buggy.
at this preset, but the results for the next test are pretty interesting, so let me tell you about them. For the next round, I tested the Legion Go in performance preset versus the ROG Ally in the turbo preset. Now, what's interesting here is that there is a wattage difference.
That is crazy that it's that close. That is really crazy.
Performance preset on the Legion Go is 20 watts, and the turbo preset on the ROG Ally is 25 watts. Again, it's worth reiterating that these are not like for like tests because the ROG Ally was tested in 1080p and the Legion Go was tested in 1200p. So let me tell you though.
That is freaking crazy. That is, I don't even know what's going on with that. Doesn't make sense. These are the same chipset. It must be just the BIOS. Like something's maybe messed up. We'll probably see some tweaking from the ROG Ally and Legion Goes over. Like now that there's competitor, like super competitor devices, like these guys are competing with each other. Maybe we'll see some better stuff. But this is the 1200p screen is pushing. How much do you guys think? Like more, like 20, 30% more pixels at 5 watts less than the Ally. That is crazy.
In Arkham Knight, Legion Go scored 49 and the Ally scored 51.
Foonbooter, the Legion Go is a swing, a hit, and a miss all at the same time. Performance on the performance scale, Foonbooter, the thing is, I think most of his tests here have been at 1200p. I would not be running this at 1200p. Why I want the 1200p is the upscaling looks really good on 1200. I'd be running this at 800p. There's no way. When I get this device and I run my review and do my whole thing, you'll see I'm going to do things very different than some of the people that do their reviews because you wouldn't run it at 1200. Now, I will do a 1200, but and I like seeing the metrics that Found the Deck does here, but I would not be doing, like, this is not the selling point. You'd be doing an 800p and upscale.
For Phantom Liberty, it was 28 versus 28, and for Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it was 35 versus 36. So while the numbers may lead you to believe that the ROG Ally wins, you got to remember this is 20 watts versus 25 watts, and this is 1200p versus 1080p. So based on my testing,
that's crazy. That's so crazy.
I would say the Legion Go wins in terms of performance. You get, keeping in mind the bump in resolution, you get more performance out of the Legion Go at 20 watts than you do out of the ROG Ally at 25 watts. Couple that with a bigger battery, and you just get more battery life.
This is also what's crazy. Low spec games, 3 to 4 hours. Celeste, Hades. High spec games, 2 hours. Cyberpunk. That is on par with the Steam Deck with a bigger screen, an 8.8 inch. This is one of the things I was worried about. No, this is really indicating that this is, yeah. I am really shocked actually. It would probably get 5 hours with Hades. Yeah, Rachel just wants a cheap Z1 mini PC. Hey, I get it, and this is awesome. And it has the eGPU, where the ROG Ally did a major nerf to its device of not allowing open source eGPUs to access it. It's using its proprietary hookup system, which I don't necessarily have a very big problem with, but if I'm going to be choosing the device, okay, I do have a big problem with it, but not necessarily. If I'm going to be choosing a device, I'm going to choose the one that's more open and have more options for my eGPU. So, Victor, I just want one that'll play MK1 at 60 frames. This one, if you configure it right, will probably play MK1 at 60 frames. If you bump that down to like 720p or something, but yeah, we'll see. Funbooter, we're looking forward to your review. I was more referring to the screen orientation. Also, hello everyone. Yes. Oh, the screen orientation thing. Yeah, it's for most games not gonna be a big deal, but for some games and for some things it will be a big deal. Good call out there, Funbooter. Gondorian Slayer, I guarantee you, Assassin's Creed is going to be just fine. Chris Lee, want to see Spider-Man 2 and Liza P on the Legion Go. How it plays
out of the Legion Go.
A good chance that it's going to play very similar to the ROG Ally. True Blue Magic Dude, Steam Deck runs MK1 like dog water. I had to delete it and get the PS5 version. Yeah, don't expect MK1 to run well on the Steam Deck or the Switch. This has a little bit more oomph to it. Don't plan on playing at medium settings and 60 frames, but I think you're going to be able to get between 30 and 60 at low settings with the TDP turned up. But we'll see. Victor, but I'll order it right now. Yeah, don't bet me fully on the MK1 thing, but there's a chance. I'd look in to see what other people have to say about that. I'll see if I can do it. Maybe I'll do some callouts for Legion Go testing and all that, but yeah.
In essence, you're going to get about 2 to 4 hours of battery life depending on what you're playing. You can play a game like Phantom Liberty at FSR performance 1200p using the 15 watt preset and get about 2 hours of battery life. You can play.
That's not bad. Once again, you need to take advantage of that FSR. Maybe he is using the FSR and he's not quoting it right. You want to use the FSR. You want to run it at 800 and then upscale to 1200.
Play Celeste on default settings and get at least 3.5 hours of battery life out of that. And then
Victor, I'll donate somewhere if you do test it. Yeah, obviously don't donate now unless you want to. I will try to. I honestly do plan on doing some tests between the 3 devices. It seems like a fun project, and I want to do it. So, Raichi, this year we got 10 Crisis games released. Wait, what are you talking about, Raichi? 10 Crisis? Are you talking about like AAA games? Gondorian Slayer, I donate my brain. Thank you, Gondorian Slayer. Can you send it to me? I'll do a live stream with me modifying your brain.
Really pushing it. You're playing something like Returnal. You're playing medium FSR performance between the ventilation and whatever you're putting it down on. But if you take the controllers off and you lay it down flat, you're blocking all of the ventilation that device has. This, of course, could get the device really hot, really.
All the devices do this. The ROG Ally does this. The Steam Deck does. You can't lay them flat per se without the control. Like obviously, you can't do those ones as much with the controllers, but that makes sense. That's pretty common
quickly
sense.
And cause it to.
I think it's a good call out because I think some people might ruin their devices doing this.
Turn off automatically. So yeah, just don't do that. I did mention the trackpad, and that is the prime as well. The accompanying software is called Legion Space, and I'm going to say it could use improvement, but it is pretty good for being in a pre-release state. First, let's talk about the R menu, which is the control panel on the right, and this is pretty much the most crucial part.
I like that it has these quick resolutions for the screen itself. I do like that, and refresh rates. There's some other stuff I'd really like to see.
So the first tab here is quick settings, where you can adjust brightness and volume. You can toggle Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. You can set the resolution to either 800, 1200, or 1600p. You can change the refresh rate between 60 and 144 hertz. You can swap to the different LED effects on your analog sticks, and you can quickly see which gamepad mode you're in. The next tab is the performance tab, and here you can see the battery status of the console and each of the controllers. You can also get a quick glance at the system monitor, so you can see CPU percentage, GPU percentage, things like that. And likewise, you can enable a display so you can see all of that in an overlay when you're playing a game. So there are 3 presets for the display. There's a simple, a normal, and an all. I really just left it to all the entire time. For many people, that's going to give you most of what you're looking for. The next thing you can set is, of course, the TDP between the 4 presets I told you about before: quiet, balanced, performance, and custom. And then the OS power mode, which is performance, balance, and efficiency. I left this on performance the entire time. There's also an option here to toggle the full fan speed. It's off by default. Next up are a couple of options for productivity mode, where you can set the external display as primary, and you can choose to disable the touchpad if you want to, or it's getting in your way. I didn't find any issues where my palm was touching the touchpad, but if you do find those issues, this is a quick and easy way to turn it off. And finally here, the last tab is just a help tab, where you can go to the help center, view the user manual. They're going to get where it's going to pop up. Here you can view
here's their and this is their software where you can pick out cloud games, game store, library settings, and
your library. Go to game stores, open up settings. There are deals on games here, and apparently they are exclusive deals for Lenovo Legion.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't feel compelled to really look at anything here. When I did peruse it, I didn't see any deals that were mind-blowing. Real quick, if you go to the library option, you're going to see all the games you've installed from the different stores. I want to note here that the box
art is very pixelated. I think he's going to mention that.
Is lower resolution than I would have expected. It's fine. It just doesn't look particularly good. I don't know how much I care about that, but I know some people.
It's a polish issue, and it is a big issue for this type of big company. Richie, yeah, AAA games running like Crysis. Okay, to be fair, I mean, some of these games, we're entering a new era with the Unreal Engine, with like ray tracing, with the nanite, and a lot of stuff that like you can't expect it to like be perfect this year. Victor, can you add RGB and 1 terabyte to my brain? Yes, I can add 1 terabyte RGB to your brain. No one will be able to see that, but might as well be fun. Sorry, Victor, that requires a new motherboard, which means new RAM and a power supply upgrade. Nice, Cascoder. Gondorian Slayer, how about I donate my leg? Yes, dude, I'll take an extra leg.
People do. Really, the most important part of Legion Space is the settings menu. A lot of what's here is also on the R menu.
They copied SteamOS so hard with this.
But I do.
Once again, nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I've actually thought about changing some of my menus and some of my stuff on the Revealed project to this.
I'm going to go to
like this.
The controller section. Here you can update the controller firmware, you can change the button mapping, and one of my favorites, of course, is Legion L plus B to get the on-screen keyboard. Finally, you can press Legion L plus up or Legion L if you're into these sort of games, and you're just not going to get something else like this out there. I'm someone that just got Ghost Runner 2, and I can't wait.
Okay, so his pros and cons. The pros are, and I do like the way he did this, FPS mode, battery life, which is crazy that this was an option on this one. I was expecting it to be, like, that's a reverse of what I was expecting. Versatility, you can do a lot of different things. That makes a lot of sense. Cons, though, speakers are not as good. Screen, that's an interesting one. I wonder if he throws in the screen because of the balancing of the darks and the brightness, that is. Fan noise, I could also see that being an issue where the ROG Ally actually does a pretty good job compared to the Asus ROG Ally. So I guess this, what's he talking about? These three are in comparison to the ROG Ally. The ROG Ally's got a really good screen, so I'm not surprised. I can deal with fan noise as long as it's not too bad, and it sounds like it's not too bad. But the Legion Go, once again, yeah.
Wait a few weeks and see how it goes. All the same, those are my pros and cons. I am honestly fascinated and impressed with this device. I think the benefits really strongly outweigh the drawbacks of this. Again, it's something that it doesn't exist anywhere else, and there's something that it's done that other Windows handhelds haven't done for me personally yet, which is I no longer feel like I'm missing something from the Steam Deck. Don't get me wrong, I'm still missing SteamOS as just a basic example, and one of the ways I did feel that I was missing SteamOS.
To be fair, though, if you know how to navigate Windows, what does SteamOS bring to the table? Don't get me wrong, I do like SteamOS and all that. I like playing around with it. But what does it bring to a device like this that Windows doesn't? Except for booting in and a really easy experience like that. Beyond that, it's not too bad once you get a device.
SteamOS was the shader cache. It kind of hurt to play Ghost Runner 2 for the first time here and have those stutters. But I don't feel like I'm losing battery life by increasing the resolution. I don't feel like I'm losing frame rate by increasing the resolution, and I don't feel like I'm losing
that looks really good
trackpads
too.
and gyro.
I'll have to admit, his example of the game running right here looks really good, and with the controls looks awesome. This looks so good. I'm gonna have to get a skin for this. That Cyberpunk skin. Oh, damn. Okay. Okay, yes, and I agree. Gondorian Slayer is going to look good. Chris Lee, how do you buy movies on your Legion Go? So how you would do it, Chris Lee, you would probably watch like Netflix. The browsers would be there. So you'd be able to, it would be like a Windows computer. You'd be able to click on the browser, go to Netflix, go to Hulu, go to a lot of different things, and you could watch your movies there. If you have movies on like a thumb drive that you've acquired some way, you can just plug the thumb drive in or copy it over to your hard drive. Play it with VLC or the built-in media player. Gondorian Slayer, use external player or digitally? Yeah, I do digital. Crazy Tamal, welcome. How you doing? Okay, let's so one of the things that the Legion Go has, let's see, AR glasses. It's not these ones. Let's see. They have I didn't say that right. They have a new one coming out soon. Why are these rated poorly? Yeah, these are available soon. Why? They must have accidentally allowed it. Or they're probably honestly testing the rating system. Okay, so I like the way these look. I want to point this out. And then we're going to go look at another pair that LoJack was looking into getting. I actually think they look decent. This is something I would potentially wear in public and watch my movies on the go. Which is just another horrible excuse for me to watch stuff. It's a micro OLED, which is just like the other devices out there that are similar to this. And this pairs, so they've indicated at times that pairing this with the Legion Go. So that's a big deal to me. Like, this is a cool little combo. 60 hertz refresh rate, which is a little low for this type of stuff. It could mean that you could get, depending on how they do it, a little bit of motion sickness. It's better to get up to about 90. With VR, I'm assuming AR would be a similar track, but we'll see. High fidelity audio VI built-in speakers, which would be right around here most likely, which is awesome. Compatible with Lenovo Legion Go on most Windows, Android 7, and macOS 8 devices with full functional USB-C, which is awesome. This is definitely going to be the next purchase after the Legion Go, personally. I really like the concept of these. I mean, I'd want to get the Meta 3 VR, but I think this is the next one. If you want to go with another pair, which these actually don't look too bad either, these Viture 1 XR AR glasses, 120-inch full HD virtual screen, Harman sound, and then it goes through the whole thing. These also look promising, and there are some other brands, but I'm not going to give any recommendations until I get a couple of these brands in my hands to test. So, bare minimum, you could probably expect me to get a Legion Go or the Legion glasses to test and let you know. We'll see how long that takes to get though. These are interesting. I'll have to say, don't expect like the perfect experience. They are still see-through for the most part, typically. I'll have to see, maybe the new AR stuff isn't. But yeah, just expect them to not be perfect. These, wow, okay, those would be potentially that. Okay. Don Williams, what settings was he on again? He was on 1200p. He didn't say, and this is the unfortunate part, he didn't say what presets he set. I'm assuming low to medium on those games, probably low at 1200p. Once again, like with Cyberpunk, he could have probably got 40 frames per second if he would have lowered that down to 800p and let some FSR2 do its job. Legion Go is one of the reasons why I based my interests on features for devices. Yeah, 100% Gondorian. Gondorian Slayer, I can't do VR or glasses due to my eyes not being round. Okay. I'm curious if these would... Oh, but you said your glasses, huh? Yeah, I'm curious if these would be any different. That's too bad, Gondorian. Okay. Let's see. Honestly, is there any other news I'm missing? I didn't prepare anything else. This is the Legion Go kind of stream. If not... Ooh, I'm sorry, Gondorian Slayer. That's not good. I know Susie's eyes aren't the best, too. But, yeah. I think she can do VR. I think she's done VR. Game news. Any good game news that came out? Oh, let's, Alan Wake 2, which I will be playing sometime on my stream. Once I get it, it's just going to take a little bit to get it. This, from understanding, if you tweak settings right on the Steam Deck, will play on the Steam Deck. Okay, this game has gotten phenomenal reviews. It's a game. It's a must buy game. I'm not surprised. Alan Wake 1 was good, but they fixed all the problems. It sounds like with Alan Wake 2. Jack Frags, okay. Yeah, you can just see, like, it looks really good. The narratives and the storytelling are some of the best in the industry. Remedy does a really good job with storytelling, and they pride themselves on that. So I'm really excited to see that they really went all out on this game. I figured I'd cover this just a little bit to just let you know, like, get this game. If you have not, get it. If you don't have the money to get this now or want to play something else that's free, Evil Within 2 is free. I don't think it's Evil Within 1. Evil Within 1 might have been free a little bit ago, but Evil Within 2, I believe, is free on Unreal. So make sure to grab that. Gondorian Slayer, for gaming news, not much other than woke stuff, and Legion Go is the most popular gaming news now. Yeah, I can see that. Chris Lee, does anyone going to buy the new RoboCop game? I bet it would look good on Legion Go. Chris Lee, it is going to look good on the Legion Go. It looks good on the Steam Deck. And it is a good game. I think there's been very, very positive affirmations on how good that is. Once again, I don't know if it's going to be a 10 out of 10. It's probably going to be like a 7 or 8 out of 10. If you like RoboCop enough, you're going to like that game. True Blue Magic Dude, I personally prefer 1 over Alan Wake 2. The puzzles and mind play stuff bored me out of my mind, and the combat feels slower. Oh, really? You liked Alan Wake 1 over Alan Wake 2? Okay, there you go. Wow, I have actually not heard that. I like Alan Wake 1, though. I just know that Alan Wake 1, people were going to have a harder time getting into than 2. Victor, I just got the commercial for this game. It's still in. That's hilarious, Victor. Both Evil Withins were free. Oh, okay, Gondorian Slayer. Oh, are they not anymore? Oops, I just opened up the engine. It is what it is. Let's see. Oh, I thought Ratchet & Clank was free. Okay. Well, Evil Within 1 was free at one point, but Evil Within 2 is free right now. Okay, cool. Just as a note, I have some videos I have recorded. I need to edit them and get them out on Games Revealed. I also expect a steady stream of videos for Games Revealed, of course, as I'm getting more and more back into things. But I am getting back into my game development. Expect updates on that over the next few months as I'm trying to hit a deadline. I will talk about it more and more as we go, but I'm really excited about that. I will try not to bore you too much on this channel, but you could catch me on the YouTube channel with that one. So it's going to be an awesome next few months for me. I'm going to have a lot. It's going to be really difficult too. Okay, with that, we have really just hit we're kind of done here. If you enjoy the podcast episode's going to come out tomorrow. It's the Halloween special, I know, but it's going to come out tomorrow now. I'm just going to about to queue it up. Expect, and then also I will be, I'm like 2 episodes behind on releasing the bonus level episodes. I'll just get those out. Honestly, they're queued up. I just need to get them released. If you're a member of the channel, that is the best way to support me right now, is just become a member of the channel. You also get a bunch of content unlocked with it. I have 20, 30 plus videos that I know they're behind a paywall, but it's just to help give you something. So with that, I don't have anything else. I am not streaming on the Brink channel tonight. I need to get just a few more things wrapped up with work. But tomorrow, I do plan on streaming for a few hours tomorrow morning on my birthday. So let's do a birthday stream. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Let me know in Discord or whatever what kind of content you want to see from me in the near future, but good things around the corner, guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything you do. You guys have been here for so long. You guys are awesome. Amazing community. Couldn't ask for anyone better. And you guys have a good night, good day, wherever you're at, and keep it good, keep it real, keep it like fire. So, peace out. Later, guys. Later.